Hello and welcome to another episode of Dread on Dread's Twitter with me, the monkey man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the idiot, the dumbass, the monkey, Dread Bongo. It's good to be here. We've done a few of these now. We've done this is probably our third one, and you guys seem to like it. You know, we kind of go through the content that has been put out there over the last week or so, and kind of extrapolate a little bit more, go into a bit more depth in why stuff was put out, or talk a little bit more about projects, and maybe we look at some charts and stuff as well. So people, it's nice for me to go back over the content because I put so much out on a daily basis that I kind of forget what I've said and what I haven't said. So yeah, should be fun. So let's get into it. We're going to start back on the 1st of December. So we're going to have about 12 days of content, but we're going to try and move through it quick because, there's a lot of content and I don't want this video to last like 2 or 3 hours because that's in no one's interest. Everyone's going to get bored, even me. So it's a good place to start. 1st of December. So I guess let's start here, right? So being dead broke is still extremely raw to me. Watching my wife and daughter struggle due to lack of money options is suffering I never want to experience again. You'll never see me flex because I still don't honestly know how to process it all. I'm just happy we're no longer there. So yeah, this one is kind of a something that was personal to me, which is kind of why I put it out. But yeah, like a year ago, this is all very new to me. Like all of this, like we got into full-time crypto only a year ago. I was still working at a 9-to-5 boring dead-ass office job in August of last year. Made the switch to full-time crypto and I've managed to get to the position I am today, which is amazing. But before that, it was very hard. Like times were hard. And, we've had like a not through lack of trying. I've tried a lot of shit in my life and I failed a lot of times, like a lot. And, that's why now I feel like I can honestly say like I am succeeding. Okay. But it's kind of the first time in my life that I can honestly say that, which is, for me, looking at myself, I'm proud of that. But with a lot of those failures comes a lot of pain and a lot of scars, which a lot of people just don't see because why would they? They don't know about it. But yeah, this post here is really just saying, I have done well over the last couple of years. Like I especially this last year. This last year has been incredible in terms of like a change in my life, my lifestyle. But that feeling of being, not having a lot of money and kind of being broke, is still there, like it's still very raw. Like I can remember really bad times that were not even that long ago. And, let's just go into it, I guess. Like, for example, so me and my wife and my daughter, we moved down south. So I live near London, but we moved down south because we wanted to be near the coast. Okay, we wanted to be near the coast, and we love there's a place called Dorset on the coast, which is a beautiful place. It's one of the most beautiful places in England. And I honestly think it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. I love going there. But we moved down there. And, we moved down there and we struggled a little bit. We were living rented. And, we didn't have a lot of money at all. Trying a few things, didn't work out. And, we'd moved away from all our family and times were hard. And we was a little bit lonely down there and everyone was a little bit depressed. And, after a good year to 18 months, we decided, it wasn't the best thing. But we'd put ourselves into a situation where we just didn't have a lot of money. Like, we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of options. I don't particularly have many skills. And things were really hard. Like, we were living on the bare minimum of money. And it was really the decisions to, do I pay a bill that's late, or do I treat my daughter to an ice cream, And those decisions are so fucking tough. And I'm not saying that, you know, I've had it the hardest out of everyone in the world. Of course I haven't. There's people who are struggling way harder than I have, but this is just my experience and that's all I can talk to. And we were struggling. So we had to make a decision, and we were really trying to, because I've always been ambitious, we were trying to get out of that grind. You know, the 9 to 5, the office grind, and we were trying things, and it wasn't really working, and we were failing. So what we had to make the decision: do we come back to near London, to where we live, where we grown up? And we decided to, but in doing so, we had nowhere to go, and we couldn't afford to rent up this way, and we were really struggling. So we had to make the decision to move back in with my wife's mother, and she had a 1-bedroom flat. So we had to move into this 1-bedroom flat with me and my wife and my daughter, and we had to borrow a mattress, and we had to sleep in the living room of this 1-bedroom flat, and sleep on this mattress. And I was trying to trade at the time. This was not that long ago. This was 2018. So the bear market, which, you know, sucks. But I was trying to trade, and I was trying to do the crypto thing, and I didn't have a job, and, you know, I was trying to support my family with it, and we were living on a floor, all three of us on one mattress. You know, my daughter she was smaller than she is now, but she wasn't the smallest. And we were really trying to go for it, you know. Obviously trying to operate for a bear market is hard, but doing it in those conditions was very fucking hard. And, you know, it wasn't working. Clearly it wasn't working. I had to take a big step back, and I had to get my job back that I'd originally left before moving down to Dorset. So I'd had to, you know, go back to my job with my tail between my legs. That was a terrible paying job, and it was an awful fucking job. And I had to do it. And it was a real... I remember the day. Because this was very early in my crypto journey. And, you know, you make bad decisions when you first enter crypto, and this is a whole different discussion, but you make very bad decisions, and you have to make those decisions to learn from them. No one's perfect. Everyone loses money, and everyone fucks themselves sometimes. But I was scalping, which is one of the most riskiest, stupidest things you can do in this space. But I was scalping. And what that is you use a huge percent of your portfolio, sometimes even 100%, and you try and quickly enter a position, make a couple of percent, and then get out of it again on very, very high time frames. So you maybe even the minute chart. You know, you're operating on the minute charts. This is what we're talking about here. And I was the account was sometimes building up, sometimes it was getting hit, sometimes it was building up, sometimes it was getting hit. And I remember one day I'd entered the position. I remember it like it was yesterday, which was crazy. I had entered BNB, and I had entered the position, and it was pumping. It was pumping up, and I was like, fucking sick. And my computer blue screened, and I stood there for a sec like, fuck. My computer blue screened, and it felt like an eternity for it to come back. Like, my computer blue screened, I had to wait for it to do its thing, I had to turn it back on, the loading up of the computer, it felt like a lifetime. And by the time I'd loaded everything back up and was back on the exchange, it crashed. And it crashed a decent amount. Like, it was like, I don't know, it was like a 10% crash or something like that. It was a big bit. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was a lot. For that point in my life, in my crypto journey, it was bad. And I remember sitting there thinking, fuck. I remember being so upset with myself, and I remember thinking, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't do this. So I decided to go back to my job. So I rang them that day. I went back to my job, and I was looking around, and there was a mattress on the floor, and I was thinking, what the fuck am I doing with my life, man? So I remember at that moment saying, I'm not doing this. I have to learn how to invest properly. And that was the real start of all of this. It was that pain that forced me to take a big step back and to focus on what the fuck am I doing? If I'm going to make it in this space, I have to do it properly. I can't do all these quick get rich quick schemes, you know? So that was the start, really. That was the real start for me. And then from then I made a plan. And I made a plan. How are we going to get out of this? And slowly but surely things got better. Got better and better and better and better. And we managed to make enough money. I was trading and I was working. We managed to rent somewhere. And then we rented somewhere, and then eventually we made a little bit more money. We managed to put a deposit on the place, and then blah, 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 blah. I got to the position I am now where I own my property within a couple of years. From laying on the mattress to this. And that's why I say I feel like it's a success. But saying that, there was a lot of pain. You know, I had to watch my wife and my daughter sleeping on a mattress and feeling like I wasn't providing for them. You know, and watching them struggle and them being depressed. And my daughter didn't really know any difference, but my wife did. And, you know, my daughter was young and she was just happy. And we're at Nanny's house all the time, you know, and the kids are so innocent and brilliant. That's, you know, and she won't remember that when she's, you know, she's growing older now. And when she grows even older, she won't remember that. But I will. And that's what I mean. You know, I don't know how to flex because I don't want anything. I honestly don't. I have more money than I thought I would ever have now. And that's not a flex. That's just to say I now realize I don't want a lot of material stuff. Like, I could go and buy things, but there's no point. I don't want them enough to buy them. They would just sit around my house and be pointless. You know, I don't want cars. I don't want watches. I don't want clothes. You know, I still shop at the same places. I still get my hair cut at the same places. I still eat the same foods, you know. But for me, I just don't ever want to go back to that position where we were sleeping on that mattress in my wife's mum's living room, you know. So that's what that tweet meant, you know. It's raw to me. I feel it still. I think about that stuff more than I think about anything. And to see my wife and my daughter happy now, you know, it means so much to me, man. Like, it means so much. It's everything to me. I spent 10 minutes on that, and I was hoping to spend 2. So we've got to move through this stuff. So Jack Dorsey's left Twitter. He was the CEO. He's left now, and he has rebranded Square Crypto to Spiral, which is interesting. But full-time crypto guy now, and Twitter have been doing some weird stuff. I think Anthony Pompliano noticed that they've been censoring a lot of people, so I don't know if that's something to do with Jack Dorsey going and the new guy coming in, but yeah. So Merit Circle listed on Binance, which is pretty cool. So there's a good side to this and there's a bad side to this. Okay, so just knock my thing 1 sec. So there's a good side to this and there's a bad side. So Merit listing on Binance, fantastic. You know, the biggest exchange in the market at the moment, and Merit Circle only launching, you know, within the first month of launching, being on a biggest exchange. That's amazing. You know, it's an amazing achievement, and it speaks to the size and the scope of the project and the volumes that they were doing and the liquidity. Amazing achievement. But we also have the fact that they have gone through their launchpad, which means that there's going to be large amounts of Merit Circle that are being farmed. And it's a 60-day farm. And obviously some of those tokens are going to be entering the supply. There's no hiding that. And I've, you know, been in communication with people and speaking through my networks and even just in the chats and stuff like that. And the CEO, Mark, he has openly said that, you know, they would have probably done this differently. They would probably have not done this, and maybe tried to do it a more traditional route through getting on Binance and not through the launchpad, and entering, you know, with those tokens entering the supply. And that's not, you know, not many people come out and admit that. And I think that's very honorable of him to come out and say, yeah, look, yeah, we fucked up there. But let's learn from that going forward. And I respect the hell out of that. But I do think there are going to be way more benefits from being on Binance than there are negatives. The price right now on Merit Circle is, and you can see this is the day it hit Binance, so you can see the effect that it had, and obviously there was some sentiment shift and stuff like that. But Merit has had a very decent retracement, and look, when there's a sale on crypto, everyone runs out the store, which is dumb. But that's just kind of how it happens in crypto. And Merit has had a very decent retracement. So a lot of people were asking and saying, damn, once it went over $10, people saying, I wish I could get into Merit. Well, we're 50% cheaper now. And this is the time to start looking at entries. This is what I'm doing. I'm accumulating the hell out of it. Because this is a temporary thing with Binance. This farm is going to end. I think there's only 50 days left now. Once that ends, I expect, and you can already see the sell pressure is starting to subside. So I see this nothing but an opportunity on Merit, on MC, I should say. But yeah, the fact that they listed on Binance, I think is a huge achievement. And like I said, I think there's going to be way more upsides than there's going to be downsides for them listing on Merit. So for them listing on Binance. So confirmation. So Elon's saying that, once there's 50% clean energy usage by miners, then Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions. Bitcoin Archive, which is a great account, by the way, saying, yeah, we've achieved it. So it's your move now, Elon. This is kind of what I was saying just a minute ago. MC pumps. Damn, I wish I'd bought. I'll wait for a dip to buy. MC dips. Haha, look at the price crashing. Bet you gutted you bought now. MC resumes the pump. Damn, I wish I'd bought. I'll wait for a dip to buy. MC dips. Haha, look. And this is the cycle. I was getting a lot of people in my DMs saying, oh, you were talking about MC and now it's going down. And people seem to think when a price goes down, it's a shitcoin. When it goes up, it's amazing. That's the mentality of someone who's not going to make it, in my eyes. But I thought that was pretty funny. 60,000 followers. I mean, it's cool, but I'll be completely honest with you guys. Like I said here, I'm beginning to realize the number isn't really important. And it doesn't make any difference to my life. I swear to God, guys, it makes no difference to my life. But the things that does make a difference is the fact that, I know I'm helping people and that's really nice. But when people really tell me the effect that it's had on them and how it's helped them, I think that's the stuff that I truly take away from all this and appreciate. Because, it's easy to just sit in your room or your office and, create your content, put it out there and forget about it and not really understand why you're doing this and forget why you're doing this. But when people tell you and say certain things, not to, blow smoke up my ass and say I'm a fucking incredible person. I think you guys know I'm humble enough to not think that about myself. But it's nice when people say that stuff because, you then realize why you're doing it and it gives you a bit more of a fire to say, yeah, fuck it. Keep going, Again, I think all of this is inevitable. So let's look at the prices here. Yes, do I think Merit Circle is going to reach Axie Infinity's market cap? I do. Well, we're talking about a huge increase. Do I think Unizen's going to reach Qcoin's market cap? Absolutely. Do I think Quant's going to reach XRP's market cap? 100%. I believe that. Hafer versus Tron. I mean, the fact that Hafer is below Tron. Anyway, the fact that Tron's worth 6.9 billion is laughable. But, Justin Sun's going to Justin Sun. Ultra on same as Engine's market cap. Absolutely. And Luna with ADA. Look, I'm not going to talk shit on ADA. I could, but I don't want to. But look, they've only got double to go, and the fact that Luna are going to be burning a hell of a lot. This price is 100% achievable. So Unizen bridge operational with flawless design. Huge progress being made. Unizen sex module ready to go. Could drop any day now. Pardon my French there. But a Unizen bridge. So we had this graphic released by the team. I'm going to take a little sip, one sec. So the Unizen team released this graphic showing the Unizen bridge, and been speaking to people through my network and saying that they are making big progress behind the scenes. They've got all of their developer power pushed right at this at the moment with the Unizen bridge, and it's already working. But obviously a lot needs to go in and testing and so on and so forth. But the actual bridge itself is working, and they have made swaps, which is amazing. So it's good to see. It's good to see that it's looking very simple. Even a monkey could use it. And the sex itself, I probably get to it a bit later, but I got hands-on with the sex, and it's up on the Roundtable channel. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go and do so. 96% of the people are not actually subscribed, the people who watch our videos. So please go and subscribe, and I think it just helps us out. It helps us out, and you get notified when we make a new video. We got hands-on with the sex module ourselves here at Roundtable, which was a great honor for me. I was very happy to be able to do that and to show it. And I've been messing about with it, using it, and it's very fucking good. It's flawless in terms of the way it's built. So pretty cool. We've got the Tournament of Orcs going on at the moment. Terra here beating Cadena. I think we're in the semi-finals now. We'll get to that a little bit later with the Tournament of Orcs stuff, but it's pretty cool. It's still crazy to me that after every single piece of FUD that's been thrown Bitcoin's way in its entire history, everything from China ban to Bcash, etc., price is still about 50k. And then it went straight below 50k like a day or two after I posted that. But yeah, it is crazy to me, man. Like all of the FUD. You take every single piece of FUD in history, and we're still way above, we're still clear in double digits. Like, if you just took all of that FUD, if you listed it all out over the years from 20, when it was first started, 2009 to now, and you listed all of that FUD out, man, the list would be longer than the fucking, God knows, it would be so fucking long you couldn't even read it all. But yet Bitcoin has persisted, and now we're at 50k. We are back at 50k, so we can comfortably say that. But I don't know, it just kind of hit me a little bit. Dan Held talking about the reserve currency status. Britain's lasted 105 years, France's 95, Spain's 111, and the USA's on 99. Not to say that it will end anytime soon, but it's interesting that they do only last around 100 odd years. So maybe the end is nigh. And the way they're printing these dollars at the moment, yeah, it don't look great, does it? Okay, I guess we should talk about this. So for clarification, I'm not here to make you guys rich. I'm here to make me and my family rich. I post because I enjoy it. If you find value in that and it helps you, great. But whether you get rich or not is honestly not my concern. So why did I say this? Some people will say, that's a bit mean, isn't it? I guess. Look, it's true. It's true. When I wake up in the morning and then I do this, I'm not trying to make anyone else rich, but my family, my wife, my daughter, my mum. I'm trying to help the people who are immediately close to me. And me helping me helps them. But my goal is not to come out here and to say I want to make every one of my followers rich. Everyone who follows me is going to get rich, because that's just not true. It's not true, and it's not possible. Not everyone is going to get rich. And for me to wake up in the morning and put that pressure on myself is so unhealthy. To think I want to make all of the people who follow me rich, man. And look, that doesn't mean that I don't hope you get rich. Look, I fucking hope everyone makes it. I hope they do. And I hope the content that I put out brings you value, and it allows you to maybe think differently about investing and helps you on your journey. And that's all I can hope for. But my goal is not there to make you rich. My goal is to put out content that helps you make better decisions. And then hopefully you make you rich. You know, I don't want to make you rich. I want you to make you rich. It's not my problem. It's not my concern. It's your concern to make you rich and to help your family. You know, I can't put that pressure on myself. And that's kind of what I said. I think people maybe took it a little bit like, oh, Dread's being horrible. But that's what I meant by that, I guess. What else we got? Wow's buying dips on Bitcoin at the moment. Right, mined 466 Bitcoin, quite a lot. All the banks saying one thing in the past and then switching to being bullish on crypto and Bitcoin. I think that's kind of funny. We can safely say there's a ton of interest for the Merit Circle Binance launch pool. Some statistics: 4 million MC staked worth 46 billion, BUSD and BNB staked worth about 4.5 billion collectively. Are you farming MC? Yeah, and this is what I mean. There's a lot of eyes are going to be pushed Merit Circle's ways with this, and you know, Merit Circle for a new project to have this kind of exposure on Binance, and for a lot of people to now have access to, you know, farming and having MC in their wallets is amazing. You know, at this point in the project's life cycle, I think that's incredible. And there's, like I said, there's going to be a hell of a lot more benefits to being on Binance once all this is over to not being on Binance. So I think I think these numbers, you know, fucking incredible for a project that's brand new. Unizen Tournament of Alts. So let's talk about the alts. The Tournament of Alts, the TOA. So the first round, we had NEAR versus Hedera Hashgraph, or HBAR, and Hedera Hashgraph won. I think this one was very close. I think it was like 52% to Hedera. Avalanche beat out Algo. I think that was an easy one. Zen beat out Ethereum. I think Ethereum actually got disqualified because in the last like 15 minutes of voting, there was like a bot who put in a shit ton of votes on Ethereum. So they got disqualified. Polkadot beat Crow. Atom, or Cosmos, beat Solana, which is, I don't want to say it was surprising, but Solana's got such a lot of hype around it. So maybe a little bit surprising. But Atom's a legit project, so I'm not that surprised. Luna beat Cadena, which I'm not surprised about. I mean, Luna has got a fucking incredible community. The Lunatics, you know, I'm part of it, I guess. So all winning projects progress to the quarterfinals. Next up, Binance Smart Chain versus a mystery competitor. We now know that mystery competitor was Aleph Zero, and Aleph Zero did very well. Bit of a spoiler there. Let's move forward. This is a great thread. I encourage you all to go and read this thread. This is from someone who played poker. I think he taught people, or I can't quite remember. But it's a thread about poker and how it kind of compares to the current state of crypto. So it didn't take me long in the crypto world to realize that it's an ecosystem being fueled by the house money effect. Having spent countless hours in the world of high stakes poker, I recognized it instantly and now can't stop seeing it everywhere I look. So I really do recommend you guys go and read this. It's from at FinTech Junkie, and I guess just type at FinTech Junkie in the search bar and type in poker, and it will come up, or house money effect, and search for this thread. But it's very, very interesting, and I recommend you guys giving it a good read. Talking about how people kind of lose track of money and how they view it differently and take on more risk over time. So definitely seek that out. What else we got? Aleph Zero versus Binance Smart Chain. This was in the pre-quarter final of the Unizen Tournament of Alts. Spoiler, Aleph Zero won, which is fantastic. What else we got? Kathy Woods thinks the metaverse is a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity that will impact every part of the economy. So this is something I need to kind of speak about, because on the last video we did on the channel, which is the Roundtable episode 3, where it was me, Luke, and Ghost, and we just sat down and we chatted a little bit. We spoke a little bit about the metaverse, and I was saying, I think the metaverse is quite a way off, and I think some people took that as like, oh, but you kind of push metaverse projects, and it's like, yeah, no, I do. And the reason why I do that is because when I say the metaverse is a way off, I'm talking about a true metaverse. Like, I'm talking about the true idea of a metaverse. And I do think that is a way off. And, I shouldn't really put a time frame on it because I don't know. But a true metaverse, there's so much infrastructure that needs to be built that for a true metaverse to truly flourish, it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of manpower and a lot of developers and a lot of standards and a lot of projects to come together. And the fact that it's far away doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's actually a good thing from an investment point of view, because the idea of investing, especially with how I invest, I like to be early. And I think being early pays big if you're right. And I've been wrong on a few projects, but mostly I would say, since kind of following my own rules and that, I've been right. So being early is a good thing. And if you're early by a couple of years, that's good. If you're early by 2 to 4 years, that's even better. If you're early by 5 years and you can get in real early on a project, that's part of this brand new vertical that is, like the metaverse, that could one day flourish into something truly revolutionary. And you pick the winners very fucking early in that vertical, then that's going to pay handsomely. And that is why Merit Circle is the project that I truly am, putting my money where my mouth is, because Merit Circle is essentially an index fund for the metaverse. So if you believe in the metaverse and you believe in play to earn and you think it's going to be a flourishing, blooming industry, then MC or Merit Circle is a project that is essentially an index fund. So instead of trying to find all of the little projects in the space and say, I'm going to find the next hottest one's going to pump, I'm going to find this, I'm going to find that, and trying to do all the research, I feel like Merit Circle is the project that allows you to benefit from the entire space growing. And that's the position I want to be in. And I truly believe there's so much growth for Play to Earn, for Metaverse, and for Merit Circle itself. But that doesn't stop the fact that this is still going to take time. And I think Play to Earn is a different story. I think Play to Earn is actually exploding now. But Metaverse is kind of a different thing. But I don't think the fact that it's going to take a while is a bad thing. I actually think it's a good thing. But I didn't want people to think that I was saying, it's going to take forever, so fucking don't worry about it, because that's not my mindset on that. I had a rich mindset when I was poor. Now I feel like a poor man with money. So I kind of already talked about this, right? Like, I don't feel like I'm, a rich man or anything like that. I still feel quite, I feel like the same fucking guy, man. So if you can hear that, if I'm breaking, it's because I'm taking a drink break. In case you think, what's that mouse who keeps coming up? So Gilbert Verdian, that guy, that quant man, says, why do people do marketing in business? Because they need to generate leads and sales. We are trying to increase our team capacity to deal with increasing customer demand. We are making blockchains mainstream by being enterprise focused. So Gilbert Verdian came into the Quant Telegram, the Quant community Telegram, and spoke a little bit about, the community. And this is, I've been guilty of this. So I'm not saying it's the community. I'm putting myself in this, who have criticized the approach to, marketing, has criticized the approach to how they interact and focus on the community from a way back. But I've definitely been critical of that. And I don't see anything wrong with being critical over something, you're really passionate about. I see it as constructive. Some people don't. Fair enough. It's up for interpretation, I guess. But But Gilbert came in and essentially laid out how it is, in terms of the fact that they're working very hard behind the scenes and they are enterprise focused. And the reason they don't do a lot of marketing is because they already have a huge amount of demand that they can't cater to at the moment. And when he said this, like, why do people do marketing in business? Because they need to generate leads and sales. I read that and I was just like, fuck, I've never thought about it that way before. Like, he's right. He's right. Why would you go and spend the money and the time on marketing when you don't need to? Because you already have an abundance of demand that you're already struggling to cater to. And when he said that, I was like, oh, fuck. And it made me rethink about everything that I've kind of said and communicated and thought, yeah, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. And I don't think you should be ashamed of saying that you're wrong from time to time. I actually think it's beneficial and I think it's good for you. So yeah, I hold my hands up there because once he said that, it did make me think, you know what? I fucking get it. Like, I get it. And they've said before that they've been trying to increase the team capacity. I remember them saying a while back, saying about how they needed to increase their team capacity by like 50%. And it's been hard because of COVID and the pandemic. And, there is a lot of client demand, and these are big enterprise clients. These are big government clients. These are central banks, etc. Oracle, SIA. These are massive global companies, and they need to cater to them, and they're struggling to keep up with the client demand. So yeah, I get it. Why would you go out there and say market and bring in new people when you can't? You're just going to be turning them away anyway. So I get it, man. I get it. And yeah, it was something that really hit me after I read it, and I'm glad he came in and really laid it out for the community to see. And some people may not agree with it and say, well, you still got to market to me in crypto, when that's not where their mind's at right now. So I get it. This was funny, man. Like, understanding taxes in 20 seconds. So you got this, I don't know, it's like a cormorant kind of thing. Gets this big ass fish. He swoops him up with a net. Get the fuck out of there. Give me that fish. And there's a little fish for your troubles. There you go. Thank you very much. It's really clever. So A0 destroying Binance in the tournament of vaults. Right, so we are over half an hour and we've got a way to go. So we're going to speed this up a little bit. I keep forgetting Charlie Munger is still alive. That was a riff on Elon Musk talking about Bernie Sanders. $500 A0 is not a meme, just an opinion. This was a good thread from Phoenix _Ash3S talking about a lot of on-chain analytics and what he's looking at. 53 post thread. I recommend going and giving this a read as well. A lot of cool interpretations of what's happening at the moment, and if the top's in, if the top's not. Man, who knows what the fuck's going on. We'll talk about this in a minute or in a bit. Dimitra ecosystem relies on specific principles to create a successful environment of inclusion, collaboration, acceleration, community opportunity. Dimitra ecosystem is changing the face of agtech, which in turn is changing the world for those who need it. So I think Dimitra, they are building their own ecosystem, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on Dimitra. Dimitra's one of those weird ones where they're already a massive legit company, and they are, in terms of contracts and clients and potential clients, they've already got a lot in the back. They've got a lot of meat on the bone there. But the crypto world just doesn't really know about them, and maybe it's not so sexy because it's it's farming, and not crypto farming, real farming. But believe me when I say it, Dimitra are a fucking big project, like a really big project, and I think a lot of people would be rewarded if they really looked into Dimitra. I remember reading that they have contracts to serve 18 million people, which is fucking insane, right? I mean, in terms of that's more than most crypto projects. So yeah, I recommend going and doing some research on Demetra. Let's just say that. Little drink there. So, what else we got? Barts. We got the Barts. It's Bart season. These lovely little patterns that are not manipulative in any way, shape, or form. But this is when price was at 53k, and yeah, it turned into a bit more than a Bart. What have we got? $285 million on Bitcoin's longs liquidating in 30 minutes. These videos are fun to do. I explain a project, and I might keep these up, and I might start putting them out on the Roundtable channel. But I explain these projects, and I think a lot of people enjoy them, so I'm going to keep doing them. A lot of liquidations. So yeah, I think this was the start of the big dump that we had on Bitcoin here. So it might get a little bit more bearish when we had this big ass candle from 53k all the way down to 42k, and then we bounced all the way back up to 49k in one day. So things might get a little bit bearish here. Elon Musk calling the top at 69k and the bottom at 420, which is hilarious. Donny Big Bags talking about how he's down 8 figures today and he doesn't feel a thing. You know, being in crypto over a long period of time, it's what it does to you. It kind of takes out the emotions. Once you take the emotions out of things, you know, I think you operate a lot better in this space, and that's what Donny Big Bags is talking about there. You know, I think that, you know, when you see your losses, and you feel less, you know, if you don't get too down about your losses and you don't get too excited about the portfolio going up a certain amount, you operate a lot better, because you haven't sold and you haven't solidified those gains. You know, like if a project's absolutely pumping like crazy and your portfolio is going up and you're looking at that number and you're thinking, I've made that money. You haven't made that money because you haven't sold. So until you sell that position, it doesn't mean anything. It's just an indication of how well you're doing. That's all it is. Like, say you've made a shit ton of money on a project. Until you sell that position, it doesn't mean a thing. And this is another thing. I have some friends. I have some friends that I got into crypto a while ago, and this is something we've been talking about internally, because, you know, there'll be certain projects, like, let's just say, I don't know, let's just talk about Quant. Let's just say Quant, right? Let's just say, for example, let's get all this shit off. So let's just say, okay, you bought in here, okay, $50, okay, and price went all the way up to $420 or $430, whatever it was, right? This is something me and my friends have been talking about. So you get in here and it all goes up to here. So you made a ton of money. You look at your portfolio and you go, fuck, man, my portfolio is worth, let's just say 20 grand, okay, or 50 grand. Let's just say it's worth 50 grand. And you've done really fucking well because you've just rode a huge move. You rode a huge move. So it's now worth 50 grand. Then we get this retracement, okay? We get this like 50% retracement. And now we're at $200, let's just say. So the natural thing for people to do is to look at their portfolio and say, fuck, my portfolio is down, or this position is down 50%. I did have 50 grand when it was here, and I had 50 grand. Now I have half of that, okay? But the thing is, you shouldn't look at it that way. You didn't sell, okay? The way you need to look at it is not where it went to, not where your portfolio went to. You need to look at your entry price, okay? So if you got in at $50 and it's now worth $200, regardless of any of the shit that happened here, you're in profit. You're in profit, and a good amount of profit. You're like 3 or 4x up, okay? So like a lot of people will get caught on the fact, because some projects, I'm not talking about Quant, I'm talking about some projects, they'll pump a crazy amount. And maybe they never go back to their all-time highs, okay? There are some projects that might just never go back to their all-time highs. And then you've got this mentality of, well, I can't sell until it goes back to its all-time high because that's what I saw, and that's what I think it will go back to. But what if it never does? At some point you have to look at where's my entry price and make a decision based on that to where it is in relation to the current price. Because maybe you think, well, I want to take some profit. Let's just say you want to take 10-15% off the table, but I can't because it's not back at $400. Well, fuck, you're up a lot. So it's not like, you can't take any profit unless it goes to all-time highs again. People need to look at their entry price sometimes rather than just looking at the all-time high price or looking at the portfolio price that's way fucking higher and thinking, shit, I can't take profit because it's come down a lot. Obviously, cycles, work a certain way, so maybe it isn't a good time to sell 50% down. But if you're already 200-300% up, then make a decision based on that. It's getting really late here, so I may be getting a bit more rambly and getting a bit more struggling to be coherent, making a coherent argument, coherent sentences, I guess. So started to get a little bit silly because shit's just going down, and there's no point in trying to educate people. Might as well just be a little bit silly. So never thought December Bitcoin top was an option. I'm smart on plan B anyway. I don't think that's in question. Everyone thinks the top in December, January. Inflict max pain and entice a bear market, scoop up the panic, and then cause max pain for bears. Albeit my chart was wrong, but I stand by my thesis. So this was something that I was dabbling with internally. Everyone was calling for the top around this time, December, January. And then we was going to top out. We was going to have this crazy parabolic rise. But, if the herd thinks that that's going to happen, the likelihood is it's not going to happen. Because in crypto, the masses are not normally right. Because every time there's someone who wins, there's someone who loses in crypto, there's someone who wins. And vice versa. So the herd can't always be right. So if everyone thinks it's going to be January, December top, likelihood it's not going to happen. And that's what we saw here. We saw a big retracement, and that inflicted a lot of pain on new entrants who got into the space in around all of these levels here in the high 50s. It inflicted a lot of pain, and a lot of those people probably just said, oh, fuck this. I've lost money. I'm not doing it. Crypto shit. Why did my nephew get me into crypto? This is bollocks. And then they're gone. And then once those people are out and all the whales scooped up the money or scooped up all of the tokens and positions, then we can round it off and we can go again. And I think that's what I meant by this. I think they were enticing the bulls, because we're going to get the top. We're going to entice all the bulls. And then we're going to inflict max pain on them. And then we're going to entice the bear market. And people start saying, shit, we're in the bear market now. Look, we've double topped and all of that stuff. And then we're going to entice the bears to think, shit, we're in a bear market. And I think once we entice those bears, then we're going to get the max pain on bears. And then we're going to head up. That's just my opinion. But that's what I see happening. Oh no, I've gone away from it, haven't I? Oh, God bollocks. All right, let's try and find it quick. Come on, we can do it. What date was we on? Was we on the... God, we are really not getting through these, are we? Every time I think, we'll do this for an hour. We're nearly at an hour, for God's sake. Right. El Salvador bought the dip, which is very nice. This is the road to 200k. These little camel humps all the way. Make me laugh. That's all that matters, right? You got to make yourself laugh. Latest liquidations, $2.5 billion worth of liquidations in 24 hours. Fucking insane. What else we got? This is a great meme. I recommend everyone checking that one out. One project that should be identified as a perfect project to snap up on this market dip. SEX module launch imminent. Unizen bridge being built. DMAS fees being optimized. Dice it in the pipeline. Millions and millions of users are ready to enter the Unizen ecosystem, and this is something that I do believe, I'm passionate about. It's something that I'm betting on big. there's a lot coming, and we've barely started. So the fact that we can accumulate Unizen at such a cheap price in comparison to where it's going, in my opinion, is fantastic. So I like to buy things when they're cheap, so that's good for me, I guess. Quant and Luna, are you going to struggle like the rest of the market? No, I don't think I will. Doing very well when the market took a big dip. Someone sold Quant for $113, which is, look, that is painful, right? That is painful. Someone sold down here, and some lucky bastard bought. Some lucky bastard bought down here, and automatically from getting filled on a position down here like $112, they're up nearly 100%. So pays to put in those wick orders, guys. You never know what's going to happen in crypto. What else we got? Let's just try and get through this a little bit quicker, because it is late here. And look at him. He's my little boy. He's my little guy. We've put our Christmas stuff up, and he was very inquisitive. Let's just put it that way. And my wife was not happy that he was pulling everything off the tree. She's very particular about, this has to go right here. And the cat was like, fuck that. Ripping them off and stuff. Kind of what I was talking about earlier. When I first started trading, investing, I got my ass handed to me a lot. But you will get better if you're willing to put the time and effort to learn and improve. No one says it's easy, but but it will be rewarding, I promise you. And I truly believe that. You know, I was doing all the wrong things you can do in crypto, in trading, in investing. And the moment that I really put the time and effort into learning how to operate correctly, and operate in a way that works for you, that's the most important thing, because something that works for someone else may not work for you. You have to find out what works for you. And the moment I started doing that, I started getting better and understanding as well that things take a long time. You know, it's not an overnight thing like I'm shit at investing, now I'm good at investing. No, things take time. But you got to put that time in if you want to get the rewards. What do you think the price of Unizen will be next year? The winner was $5 to $10. So it shows the sentiment at the moment on Unizen, that people think that the price is going to be between $5 to $10. I disagree. I actually think it'll be a lot higher. But kind of, you know, mixed bag, I would say. 1,500 votes there. So, but sentiment not that great on Unizen at the moment. But sometimes that is the best time to jump in. Owning an MC is one of the easiest holds in space right now. It's essentially going long on the entire metaverse and play to earn space, something that will revolutionize both gaming and crypto. The growth potential is staggering, and MC allows you to bet on the whole thing. So kind of what we were talking about earlier in terms of like the index fund of metaverse and play to earn projects. So yeah, I really recommend it. And they did a Git book. Let's see if we can find that. Merit Circle Git book. Here we go. Look at this. I love these Git books are incredible. So gives you all the information you would need, introducing Merit Circle, talking about the project, talking about who it's for, talking about the DAO structure itself. And you can just say, well, what if I want more information about the token itself? Well, there you go. What if I want to talk about, what if I want to look into governance? You can do that. Look into the roadmap, etc., etc. So yeah, check the Git book out. If you want to learn more about Merit Circle, I recommend that you do. But there you go. What else we got? So I had guys, this was fucking pain. Honestly, you've never felt pain like me the other week, or when this all happened the other day. I had buy orders in on a lot of projects, and some of them hit. KDA hit. I got a buy order filled on KDA. I got a buy order filled on who else was it? I think it was Morpheus Network. I got a buy order filled. I got a buy order filled on Merit Circle. But I was $10 away from getting a a buy filled on Quant, like a really, really good wick. It was one of these wicks here. It was this wick. Oh my God, because obviously this happened and I thought I'm going to put some low buy orders in just in case. And I think I had a buy order in at 138. That was it. It was like down here. I thought, what if we get a crazy wick through? And it was like 138 or one. No, it was like 142. It was down here. It was like 142, 143. And we got wicked all the way to 145. And I thought, you motherfucker. And we also had one on, it was Haffa, was it? I think it was this one here, I believe. I had one on like 87 cents and we just missed that as well. And it just kept happening. I looked at all the projects and my wicks were my buy orders were nearly hit, but I missed on a bunch of them and it really fucking pissed me off. I was in a bad mood that day. My wife was just like, you've had a bad day. I was like, yeah, I have. I've had a bad day. But this is what I believe is happening. The institution and the whales are shaking people out. I do believe that. I still believe that. I still believe we're going higher. I still believe that we've got a lengthened cycle, and maybe there's some more short-term pain. But I do believe that we're going higher. Like I said, the Unizen sex module on the Roundtable channel itself. So we was able to. Oh, no, stop. So we was able to get a little look at the sex module. This is it in operation at the moment. And a little behind the scenes stuff, talking about the dashboard and all of the stuff behind in terms of security, so on and so forth. It was a nice little video. So if you want to know a little bit more about the sex module itself, go and check that out. The Roundtable channel itself, we've been putting videos out. You know, we realised that we've been a bit sporadic. So we did the Unizen sex module. We put out the latest episode of the Roundtable. Obviously, Dread on Dread's Twitter, new video coming soon. This one right here. And we're going to have a bunch more videos coming out regularly now. So subscribe. When you realise this was just a shakeout for normies and not the beginning of a full-blown bear market. Now, this was an excuse to just use this GIF because I fucking love it. That is gangster, right? And I listened to that, and me and my wife, I was just like, "What song is that? What song is that?" And me and my wife sat there, and we always have this like little game with each other where if we're like, "What song is it?" or anything like that, we can't look it up. We can't look it up, even if it takes like 2 days, and we're like, "Oh, what song is it?" and we have to think of it. And it took about an hour, but it was Alice DJ, Better Off Alone. I think it was Alice DJ. Do you think you're better off alone? Great song. So off the back of this video, which I didn't know was going to happen, by the way, Unizen said, on that note, we are super excited to launch private testing of Unizen Sex for entities with our partner network. So that was kind of awesome that they used my video on the Roundtable to do that. And next up, the exchange launch. It's ready, guys. Like I've used it. It's ready to go. It's just, I guess there's some formalities that they need to fix or before they launch it. But it's ready, man. Like they could release it today or tomorrow and it would be fine and people would use it. Bitcoin breaking up. We had a lot of these kind of sideways caterpillar movements. We can see it here. We're just kind of moving sideways. We're just ranging at the moment, 52 to 47, 46. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen here? One way or the other, we need to see something happen. And until it does, we can't really make many predictions, you know? Like, yes, it's nice to see some positive price action, but we could easily break down back to the lower part of this range, or we could break up, but we need to see the break out from these ranges before we can make a real decision. Either way, what else we got? We're up to the 7th of December. We're getting closer. People forget that. So this is another thing that I've been talking about. So people forget that for every winner in this market, there has to be losers. When normies or new entrants are panicking and dumping their positions en masse due to the blood in the market after months of euphoria, whales and smart money are busy scooping up. Bear trap. And this is what I think. I do think this is a bear trap. I do think a lot of people, the sentiment has dropped off a cliff, guys. It has dropped off a cliff. And a lot of people who got into the space recently, who I know, have been saying, shit, is this it? Are we done? I'm fucked. I've lost money, you know? And then people who I've known in the space for a long time starting to say, fuck, we might be in a bear market here. And I think the sentiment has just gone south really hard. And I do think we're in a bear trap. But I could be wrong. So there's that, I guess. So Merit Circle invests in promising play-to-earn projects via seed rounds. As the projects succeed, Merit Circle's seed investments profits grow. This leads to a larger and larger treasury over time. Monster profits from play-to-earn growth result in massive Merit Circle market buys and burns. So you can kind of see the effect that that's going to have. So as they invest in these play-to-earn projects, which are promising projects, you know, quality over quantity. Once they invest in these projects, and, you know, seed rounds do very well. If you pick the right ones, you can do very well off seed rounds. So the more projects that they invest in that are top quality and they have good seed investments, they make better returns. And as these projects get bigger and they get more successful, yes, Merit Circle's funds that they invested in are growing as well. This is their treasury. So the treasury gets bigger and bigger and larger over time. And as it gets bigger, they can buy back Merit Circle and burn tokens as well. So deflationary, but also building up a war chest at the same time. So again, it's gambling and betting on the metaverse and play to earn space as a whole. So I'm bullish on it. You can tell I am bullish. So new entrants don't see ETH the same way long-term players do. OG see ETH as groundbreaking evolution that led to the very foundation of what we interact with in crypto today. New investors see it as unstable. Oh God. New investors see it as unusable due to crippling fees and congestions, and both are correct. So I mean, it kind of speaks for itself there, but yeah, it's true. There's a reason why new investors are looking at other layer one solutions. Like you're looking at Solanas, you're looking at your Avalanches. Your Aleph Zero is going to come into play in a big way, I believe. But OGs see Ethereum will never be toppled. Never. But they don't see the issues the same way as new investors see it. And I know because I speak to a lot of people who are entering the space, and the fees on Ethereum are outrageous sometimes. And when you're a smaller investor, I think that's what a lot of people lose track of, especially the OGs and the WoWs. You know, they've made a lot of money and they can handle the fees. You know, I've had it where I've had to spend thousands of dollars on fees in a day just to do something, which is disgusting. But lower, you know, people who don't have a lot of money, they physically can't. Like, they can't spend that on fees because it just eats their entire portfolio. Like, if you're asking someone to invest, can I invest in something that's only on Uniswap? And they have a portfolio that is worth $500, and you're asking them to do $100 transaction to invest $400 to invest what will then become $400. Like, they can't. They just physically can't do it. So then they look for other solutions. So then when you look at Binance Smart Chain and the fees are dramatically less, and you look at Solana, and you look at Avalanche, and you look at Aleph coming, and you look at Hafa, and you look at Cadena, the fees are dramatically less. That's always going to be more appealing to those guys. And yes, Ethereum had a huge head start, but it doesn't mean that it will be the one that wins out in the end. Ethereum have a lot of problems that they need to fix before you can make that statement. So again, both are correct though, you know, both are right. But it is what it is. I'm gonna have one more drink here. What else we got? This is our roundtable episode talking about A0 there. NFTs. Now we're gonna have to talk about this in a separate video. I think we're gonna have to talk about this in a separate video, and I'd like to get some NFT guys on. I'd like to get someone. I would actually like to get someone who is a gaming developer and someone who is working in the play to earn space around NFTs, because I think this is a whole subject that deserves its own time, because right now there are two, and I've talked about this in something that we're going to talk about a little bit later. Maybe I'll save it to them. But Ubisoft introduced Ubisoft Quartz. We're bringing the first energy efficient NFT playable in a AAA game to Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and it was massively criticized and rejected by gamers, which is interesting, very interesting. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Quant has not been this oversold on the daily since its capitulation to $1.39 in March 2020. It then pumped 31,000% to $430. Yeah, and look, the wording on this may be a little bit funky, and I completely understand. I can't remember who said it. I think someone we had a little bit back and forth. I'm gonna apologize if I can't find this. I can't find it. I'm sorry. But we had a little bit back and forth in saying, like, just because something's oversold doesn't mean, something can stay oversold for a while. And it's true. Something can just stay oversold for a long time. Doesn't really mean anything. But it's interesting that the charts were telling you something that has happened before. And that was the only thing I was trying to point out. The last time that this specific setup had happened was back in March 2020, when we had this big capitulation candle, which is the same thing here. We'd entered into oversold territory on a daily, and the same thing's happening here. Not to say that we're going to get this massive kind of tweezer bottom, but it's interesting that the same setup was in play, and that's just a fact. It did pump 31,000%, but I can see why people would say, "You implying it's going to happen again?" No, I'm not. When Quant retraced from $15 to $1.30, it was painful for a number of reasons. The main reason being we didn't know whether our assumptions were correct in regards to the project's scale. Since then, we've had confirmation after confirmation, and this feels completely different. And this is true. This is true. We invested in Quant early, very early, and we had to do a lot of research because there was a lot of things that just were not confirmed but looked like Overledger, and we found the Oracle stuff way before it was announced anything official, and we also found stuff around SEO way before it was official as well, but we were working on assumptions, and that was it. We were working on, we believe this is Overledger, and we believe Quant are working with this company, but we don't know, and there was nothing really concrete at that time. So we were holding something that was, in our eyes, huge, but we were getting destroyed on price. So I held from $15 all the way down to $1.30 on Quant, and I know a lot of people did, because we believe so hard in Quant and who they're working with. And since then, we've had confirmations, and not only confirmations, but we've had confirmations from the likes of Oracle themselves, and we've had confirmations from SIA, and then you have William Lavelle at the Bank of England talking about Quant and recommending them to other members, to other people on calls and meetings, and you have LAC chain, and the confirmations that around Overledger is unquestionable now. Like, it's such a different boat that we're in at the moment. So then when you see this now with this kind of big retracement, this is nothing compared to what we went back through we went through back in the day. This is an opportunity of the highest magnitude, and if we go lower, it just becomes a bigger opportunity because the confirmations are there now. So yeah, I know a lot of people get scared when we're investing. But this is a main component and reason why you need to know what you're holding. Because if you know, it's easier to hold through this stuff. It's a lot easier. What else we got? Some more stuff there. Talking about some different projects. A little bit of, a quick snippet on what these projects are, in my opinion. A0, enterprise grade, next gen, layer 1 solution, etc. etc. What else we got? Wow Room, another project that I really like. I've had 2 demos now with Wow Room, and I've been impressed both times. Showing off here the iOS mobile look of Wow Room. Recommend people go look into Wow Room as well. There's a lot more that meets the eye. Super Oracle's partnered with Aleph Zero. It's excited to partner with Aleph Zero, a public blockchain that prioritizes scalability and developer convenience. So Aleph Zero launched their mainnet recently. They haven't listed yet. So I know a lot of people say, when can we buy Aleph Zero? And there was a public sale and people got into that. But no listing yet. But I believe, I imagine they're working very hard to get that situation sorted. So Quant snuggled right back into the nice support block. We see it here. We've actually bounced out of that right now. So that was a pat myself on the back there. That was a nice little call. Quant wallets compared to other projects, BNB, Link, Shiba, XRP, and Doge. Quant's wallets, 38,000 compared to Doge's 4.5 million. So yes, you are early. If you are asking yourself that question, you are very early. What happens when the amount of Quant wallets are even a half of BNB's price is going to look very different, in my opinion. What else we got? Okay, I keep thinking, we'll just speed through this, and we're not. In 2017, Substratum was one of the biggest projects in the space, a top 100 coin with over $600 million market cap. It had huge YouTubers pushing it. Sub promised big things and never delivered. Its market cap is now under $1 million. Other large projects will see the same fate. Be sure of what you hold. And I mean, a lot of the information is right there in the tweet. A lot of projects in the top 100 right now are going to be... let's have a little look. A lot of the projects in the top 100 back in the day were, let's go on CoinMarketCap actually. Let's go on CoinMarketCap. So you had a lot of projects back in the day that everyone thought were big projects. These are projects that are going to go on to revolutionize the space and so on and so forth. But they never went anywhere. They never did anything. It was all fluff. And you can see, so this is what the top 10 or the top, we'll go through them, but the top 10, top 50, top 100 look like back at the height of the 2018, 2017 bull market. So we're talking here. We're talking this point right here, okay? This is on Bitcoin, sorry. So we're talking here, but then a lot of the alts pumped just after, around this point. And this is what it looked like. And as you can see, it looks extremely different. It looks very different. Okay, we had Bitcoin Cash at number 4. We had, XEM. We had NEM. Where the fuck is NEM right now? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at maybe where some of these projects are right now. We might be going long tonight, guys. Maybe some of you like that. Maybe some of you are into that. But my wife will not like the fact that I'm staying up this late. Right, so let's have a little look. So we got NEM. Let's have a look at NEM. 98. So NEM are in the process of exiting the top 100 right now. What else we got? So look, Tron is moving down now. Tron's, I think a lot of people understand that Tron is outside the top 20 now. So, and a Link. I wouldn't put Link in the same boat, to be honest with you. But yeah, we can look at a lot of these projects. Like a lot of projects that were promised to be the next big thing. Like Neo was the hottest China project. We had Qtum, which was another project that was highly highly pushed. Lisk was another project that a lot of people were into back in the day. Now, where the fuck is Lisk? Because Lisk was seen as a very promising project back in the day. 210. So the market cap on Lisk back then was 3.9 billion. And the market cap right now is 335 million. So if you'd held from that point to here, thinking it was a strong project, you'd be down a lot right now. And this is the whole point. You need to know what you're holding, because a lot of people held Substratum back in the day, and Substratum was seen as a big project. Substratum was seen as, and it was pushed by a lot of YouTubers. Where was Substratum? 71, and it went a bit higher. But Substratum was pushed by some big YouTubers back in the day. It was pushed by, Data Dash was famously took some money off of them in the form of like a reward, I think it was, or to talk about them. And Data Dash was the biggest crypto YouTuber at the time, and they turned out to be scammy. They turned out to not operate in the best interest of everyone. I think they famously, the CEO, I can't remember his name right now, but the CEO famously admitted to being involved with pump and dumps. And I think they famously shorted Ethereum. They said, we're going to get our team trader, to short Ethereum using the project's funds. And they shorted Ethereum at $70. And it was the bottom. It was like Ethereum's actual bottom. And the project just never really recovered. And now it's under $1 million. So if you held a Substratum from this point and you held it all the way down, and this chart looks even crazier, like, yeah, you lost all your money. Simple as that. It's down like 99.97% or some shit like that. And this will be the case now. There will be projects here that you think there's no way that they will fail. But they will. They will. There will be projects that fail. Projects like Matic. I'm not saying Matic is the shittest project ever, but I wouldn't be surprised if Matic isn't around in 4 or 5 years. Or it not the fact that it might not be around, but $14 billion worth in? Maybe not. Maybe not. Would you be surprised if in 5 years' time Matic is worth 500 million or 400 million? I wouldn't. And not to say that there isn't quality projects in the space. There are. Of course there are. But there's going to be a lot of projects that don't survive. That just don't survive. That are not here in the future. Because when you look through this list here, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. BitConnect was the 26th biggest project. And it was a literal Ponzi. A literal Ponzi. Populous. Oh my god, what the fuck is Populous? I remember all this shit. This is bringing it back to me now. What's PTT? Where's that now? Is there a different... It's Populous. Has it just gone? Populous. Wow, 943. So Populous had a market cap of $2 billion. And it now has a $21 million market cap. So all funds, all investor funds just erased, basically. Dentacoin, fuck, I think that was a scam. Status was seen as a really big project. Stratis as well. VeChain did well. Dragon Chain, where's Dragon Chain now? Dragon Chain is probably still doing okay, but okay, no, it's not. Oh my god. Dragon Chain was seen as like, I remember back when Quant first started, Dragon Chain was that we're the superior interoperability solution because we have patents and we are working with Disney. And it turned out the Disney partnership was bullshit and the patents didn't mean anything anyway. So they had a $1.1 billion market cap and now they have 29 million. So this should just give you an indication that you really need to know what you're holding. And that's why I push it so hard. You need to know what you're holding, because if you don't want to be holding Dragon Chain down from 1.1 billion to 30 million. You don't want that kind of pain in your life, guys. You just don't. What else we got? Arc. Fuck, man. Arc were like, it was the ultimate, like the all-in-one blockchain. I think they were the all-in-one blockchain. 204 million, 789 million. So yeah, this is bringing it all back to me. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a nostalgia trip here. Loop Ring was a decent project if I remember correctly. Funfair, yeah, the casino coin. That was all casino and betting is going to be on Funfair. Didn't quite work out. Pivx as well. Ion. I mean, we had a lot of Ion people telling us Quant was just dog shit back in the day. And then Ion just went to shit. What's Ion at now? A lot of Quant people will like this bit. A lot of the OGs. So Ion, $623 million market cap, 79 or $80 million market cap now. So again, back then, Ion was the interoperability solution. Back then, Quant came later, but at the time, you know, Ion always had the higher market cap. And whenever you talked about interoperability and whenever you would communicate to people and try and educate and say, look, Quant is the interoperability solution because of this, because of any-to-any interoperability, and putting in a blockchain in the middle of it is not the best practice. But because Ion had the higher market cap at the time and was higher in the rankings, people just dismissed what you were saying about Quant and saying, well, Ion is the solution. You can see they're bigger. They got more chance. Now you look at the two projects. Ion has a $70 or $80 million market cap. Quant has a $2.5 billion market cap. So higher than Ion's ever been. And that comes into knowing what you're holding. Knowing the market, knowing what you're holding, and understanding why something will work and why something won't. But that takes time, and you have to put the time into to understand those things. What else we got? Bitcoin Dark, Zcoin, Jesus, Poet. I invested in Poet. I remember that one. Jesus Christ. 10x, Walton Chain, famously with the giveaway. They did a giveaway, and then they replied to their own giveaway, saying, "Thank you so much for this giveaway, this prize. Oh, that's amazing!" But then they forgot to change the account. And they replied with their own Walton Chain Twitter, so they were just giving it to themselves. It was a fraud. Yeah, man. Oh, I've got to stop this because we could just keep going. But Extra Bytes. Oh my god, Extra Bytes. Remember that shit as well. Maybe we should just do this one day. We should just go through old projects and talk shit about them. But yeah, know what you're holding. That was the whole point of that. That was the whole point. This was great. Brian Brooks talking to Congress or talking to the government, however it works over there in America, how America are really far behind other countries. Zenex moving into the Terra ecosystem, no longer just on one chain with Ethereum. They're now moving into the Terra ecosystem with Terra Firma being accelerated through Zenex, which is pretty damn cool. MicroStrategy buying every goddamn Bitcoin in the world. Bought an additional 1,434 Bitcoins for $82 million. Yeah, very much putting their money where their mouth is. What else we got? Merit Circle announcing partnership after partnership. I mean, this is something to really keep an eye on. Because, you know, price is one thing, but what's the project doing? You know, your price is what it is. You know, it can be seen as an opportunity, or you can see saying something is overvalued. But what is the actual project doing itself? And you can see that they are partnering with a lot of play to earn projects because they see the need for merit and they see the value in merit. So very, very happy with what I'm seeing from the project itself. Halving in under 30 days for Hafa. 32 block rewards, going to halve to 16. That's going to be in January, which is pretty interesting. Just keep an eye on that. Merit, so I put that tweet out and then someone put it in the Telegram, and then the CEO Mark saying, well, we have two really exciting ones coming, also biggest in size so far. So again, look at what they're doing. Don't concentrate so much on the price. See price as an opportunity if the project is legit. What else we got? Fancy Birds preparing for their public launch on Copper Launch. So they've partnered with Merit Circle. So it's good to see the Merit Circle ecosystem, because a lot of these projects I kind of see as Merit Circle ecosystem projects. So it's definitely want to highlight them as well, because it's all part of a wider narrative with Merit Circle. Fucking hate this. My God, I fucking hate this. Like these. Oh man, the open mouth thumbnails is I cringe so fucking hard that it hurts my body. Like it hurts just to see this, man. Like the fact that they're just jumping on the fact that this works. You know, for some reason people see these guys with their mouths open, ready for a dick to fucking shove in it. That people love clicking on those videos, and they're just jumping on that trend because it works. It's like not clickbait, but you know, you're more likely to jump on a guy with his fucking mouth open for some reason than a guy who's just standing there looking at the screen. So, for some reason, this is worth seeing the making of it. Like, I never thought about how do they actually do it. And, fuck, man. Gagging like he's sucking on a cock. Fuck me, man. Right, so Unizen have got the weekly pulse now. So they actually talk about all of the events that's happened in the past week. Very, very good idea. And, just keeps the community in check and informed in what's going on the project. Bitcoin's actually having a bit of a what's it doing at the moment? Yeah, see, we're still right. We're just ranging. We're just completely ranging right now. Back down to 49, back below 50. Are we going back up to 50? Are we going down to 42? Who the fuck knows? What else we got? So Gold Lives, K Godel, great guy, by the way. Spoke to him personally. Very, very nice guy. But did an article talking about the long-term value of Merit Circle. And I recommend everyone reading this because he does a great job of breaking down why Merit Circle is a great hold for the future, and how it's comparable to Illuvium's early life cycle, where we had this kind of long range here before we had the real show that started later on. And now that we're in the same sort of position with Binance and the Launchpad, I believe the same thing is going to happen. I think we are going to have this nice range, which will just be seen as opportunity for many. And those who decide to, you know, accumulate during this range, I believe will be handsomely rewarded. And these levels up here, like Illuvium, are not unattainable, in fact actually attainable, but that's just my opinion. So let's talk a little bit about the what we talked about earlier about NFTs. So NFTs are not going to be accepted with open arms by the gaming community. They need to be educated on why an NFT is a practical evolution in ownership within gaming. They simply don't understand why they need or want this, and this is part of a bigger problem with NFTs. NFTs are a fantastic evolution in terms of ownership of digital goods. But gamers do not understand this. They don't understand why they need NFTs, because they haven't been educated. And these companies, these big companies, are not educating them. They're not telling them why. They're just saying, this is now an NFT. We're selling this as an NFT now. You know, and they don't understand. And the thing is, with the current state of gaming, because I've always been interested in the gaming industry. I used to own a gaming website. I ran my own gaming website. We actually we was in the top 100,000 websites in the world, which, you know, doesn't sound great, but if you think of how many websites there are in the world, I was very proud of that. I was proud of it. But so I ran my own gaming website. It was like a game news journalism website. We spoke about the industry, and I've always kept an eye on the industry. And I don't play as many games as I did, but I always kept an eye on the industry. And recently, there's a recent trend with just people losing trust in these companies because of their predatory nature in terms of microtransactions, in terms of bleeding them dry, If you look at like FIFA, for example, with their Ultimate Team, and just a lot of shit in terms of selling people games that are broken at launch, and you have to install a fucking 80 gigabyte patch just to play the goddamn game, and cheap remakes like the GTA trilogy that came out recently, the Definitive Edition, which was just a cash grab, really. So people are just losing faith, and when you get projects like CD Projekt Red and releasing Cyberpunk and promising that it's going to be this revolutionary next gen experience, and it turns out to be a fucking broken mess, where it's a watered down broken mess to boot. And this confidence is at an all-time low when it comes to these companies releasing good games and having the consumer's interest at heart. So when you then layer in the fact that they're now going to incorporate NFTs into things, they're already at a disadvantage because consumers have low trust in these companies. They have no trust in them. And they see all of this as a cash grab. That's all they see NFTs, because they don't understand them at all. So the point of this thread was to kind of say, well, you are going to have that for a while. You're going to have that until they can be educated. That's just going to be the way it is. But there's this subset of gaming that is blossoming at the moment with play to earn. And I see them going down two different paths. You're going to have the play to earn industry that's going to be completely embraced by those who want to use NFTs and have these unique experiences, like I say here. But you're also going to have this other side where the original gamers, where they're not going to even bat an eyelid at this shit. And they're going to go down two separate paths, and the play to earn industry is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point they're going to merge. At some point they're going to meet. But it's only through education that can happen. And yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that Ubisoft pushed it in such a way where it just they didn't explain it. And now there's work to be done in that regard. If they'd done it right, maybe it could have done well. But yeah, it is what it is. You can't go back on it. Quant, right? We're gonna wrap this up in a minute, guys, because it's getting really late and we're already fucking hell, an hour and a half. My God, I can't even believe I can talk for this long, to be honest. Again, like we've been saying this whole video, if you aren't willing to do your own research, don't be surprised when you're stuck in your dead end job in a couple years time. What else we got? Let's see if we can get to the end here, guys. Inflation is bad. If you didn't know, inflation is bad. The first exchanges to list A0 will be handsomely rewarded. I truly believe that. I think Aleph 0 or A0 is a monster project that is yet to list. And when I see, now let's get out of 2018 here and let's get back to 2021. When I see the layer one solutions, they are the projects that are swallowing up the market caps of the entire industry. So obviously we have Ethereum, but then we have Solana number 5, Cardano number 6, Polkadot number 9, Terra number 10, Avalanche number 12. What else we got? Where's Cosmos? 31. Cosmos is dropping a little bit. That's a surprise. But these big layer ones, I will not be surprised if we see Aleph 0 up and in or around these companies. I'm not saying it's going to be at listing. That would be fucking incredible for the project, but bad for those who want to buy it early on listing, like myself. But yeah, the Aleph has huge potential because the technology is real, mainnet's running, and you go and look into Aleph 0 in terms of enterprise grade, scalable, feeless, instant transactions, essentially instant, so goddamn quick that is pretty much instant. But there's Aleph 0, I would not be surprised. Like in terms of the technology, they're on par, if not better, than most of these projects. So yeah, definitely am expecting big things from Aleph, and I think the first exchanges that list them, there's going to be a lot of volume that's going to be running through them. So it'll be interesting to see who gets that listing out of the gate. The lower merit circle goes, the harder it is to not go all in on the project. I have been allocating more and more funds to merit the lower it goes, to be honest with you. And I think we're here. We watched Christmas Chronicle the other night, me, my daughter and my wife. And good old times. Christmas is coming. And yeah, we made it. We made it an hour and a half. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching all of this. I am going to be taking a break over Christmas. I'm going to be taking a long break as well. So it's a good couple of weeks there'll be no tweets because I'm going to spend the time with my family. They deserve it. I owe it to them. So Christmas is coming. Anyway, if you watched it this far, thank you very much. We will make sure that the content is regular from this point on, and you guys know how much I appreciate you, especially the guys who stick it through this stuff and really take the time out of their day to listen to this dumb old guy, this dumb old monkey talk about himself, essentially, which is weird when I say it like that. But I hope you're all well. I hope you're all doing good, and I hope you're all taking care of your families. And yeah, until the next time, stay safe in these weird times, and I will see you in the next Roundtable video. Love ya. Peace.